Now, experiments you can kind of think of as being very, very structured and very, you need to be very, very in control of all of your variables to make sure that you're isolating the variable of interest. Um, and on the other hand, um, case studies are very, very, there's not a lot of control because you really can't say what is or isn't the variable of interest. You really can't isolate anything. It's really kind of getting the history and all of the variables and trying to kind of theoretically determine what might be important within that. Correlational studies are really cool because they combine kind of that control aspect of experiments with all of the generalizability and the history and context of case studies. And because it is kind of a spectrum, it is a little bit of a trade off. And this is why you'll hear the phrase a lot of times correlation is not causation. Because correlational studies can't determine, which factor influences which, for example. But we'll get to that in just a minute. As I said, they are the most common research study in debate. And really what they attempt to do is measure the strength of a relationship between variable A and variable B. So a really good example, kind of look to the bottom of this crafting a correlation slide, and correlated variables could be height and weight, right? That doesn't mean that, somebody who weighs more is, very tall. It doesn't mean that somebody who is very short is very light. But it does mean, in general, on average, as a trend, humans do tend to weigh more as they get taller and vice versa. So kind of thinking about how we can quantify these then. Correlation coefficients range from -1 to 1, right? Anything above 0 is typically a positive relationship. Anything below 0 is a negative relationship. So thinking about how these actually work statistically, I'll try not to inundate your brain with too much math, but it is important to understand how these work. And if you have any more questions about these, I can absolutely answer them. This is a very, very, very high level overview, but it's really important to understand how you can question this research. So, on that second bullet point, variable A is tied to variable B. So in a one correlation, variable A goes up 1 unit. Variable B must go up 1 unit in turn. In a 0.25 correlation, variable A goes up 1 unit. Variable B must go up 0.25 units.